I'm doing this recording as we await the Azimio Kamkunji rally, which is due to unfold in just a few hours. It is a good time to look at where we are politically in our country, because there's so much anxiety amongst Kenyans within and even outside the country. And I want to start today's show with a proverb. This proverb, believed to have originated from Russia, explains why so many of us older Kenyans were able to very accurately predict what kind of presidency a William Samoei Ruto presidency would look like. It also explains the reasons why we are where we are today as a country, and why nothing will change as long as the administration remains the same. Don't fool yourself. Don't make big plans. Nothing will change. And I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just being very realistic, with the benefit of hindsight and with the benefit of experience. So here's the proverb. One day, the scorpion wanted to cross a river. Now, scorpions can't swim. And so he approached one of his enemies, the frog, and begged him, "Please, allow me to ride on your back to cross the river." The frog said, "Are you serious? You've got to be out of your mind. I can never do that. Because you're a scorpion." And even a young frog, born a few seconds ago, knows that a scorpion stings a frog all the time, will never lose an opportunity to sting a frog. And then the crafty scorpion told him a simple truth. Yes, it is true we sting frogs. It is true I always have the urge, it is in my DNA, to sting a frog. However, bear in mind that if I sting you, you're going to drown, but I am also going to drown. Surely, self-preservation will kick in. There's no way I can sting you. Please, help me cross this river. And so the frog thought about what the scorpion had said, and he realized it made sense. And so the scorpion got onto the back of the frog, and the frog started to cross the river. All was well. Then around the middle of the river, where it was most dangerous, where it was very deep, the scorpion could not bear it anymore. He stung the frog, and they both started drowning. And as the frog was dying, he asked the scorpion, "What did you do that for? Was this a suicide mission or something?" And then the scorpion responded, as the scorpion too was drowning, "I couldn't help it. It is my nature. Scorpions sting." What? And so both the scorpion and the frog drowned and died. Now, because we are all students of this channel, I can't resist a lesson to take home, which applies not only to managers in big corporations, big companies, who have to hire workers, but applies to all of us. Because even you, at one point or other, will need to employ a maid or a cook or somebody to help you out with your chores. And the lesson is this: when you hire somebody, you're hiring them for some certain strengths, but you need to be very wary of their weaknesses and ask yourself, will their weaknesses be so great that it will not matter how they perform on the job? Let me give you a quick example from my own life. I once hired this worker to help me out with my vertical sack farming. If you don't know what that is, you can check out the video in the description area. And this worker was good. He had initiative. He worked very hard. He was perfect. But there was one problem. When he was in the village only for a short while, a lot of controversy emerged. People's wives, wake wa wenyewe, were getting seduced by this man. To this day, I don't know what he was using. But he was a magnet to women. When women saw him smiling, especially with that gap in his front teeth, they stopped thinking. So I ran into a lot of problems with my neighbors up country. At one point, some of them were even planning to kill him. It was that serious. He was a good worker, but his weakness was too much. Anyway, on to the politics. The story of the spider and the frog tells you very clearly that the economy of Kenya will never turn around unless there is a change in those running the economy of Kenya. Okay? That should be very clear. The story of the frog and the scorpion tells you very clearly that unless there's a change in those running the country, there will never be a change in our politics, style of politics, and the way those who carry power handle politics. Let's get that very clearly into our minds. By the way, in my latest weekly intelligence briefings number 105, which will be released in a few hours, if you came too early to this video, I explain in greater detail, naming names, why this particular proverb is so important to any Kenyan who wants to understand what is unfolding in our country right now. Okay, so make sure you catch it. Now, before I go, I want to cover two quick topics. I received a question from somebody who sent me a video of Maina Njenga, the very, very famous Maina Njenga of Mungiki fame. And he said to me, Chris, I don't understand Kikuyu. What is going on here? Because Maina Njenga has been missing in action for a long time. Now this video emerges. What does it mean? Well, let me answer that question very briefly and very quickly. There are some other comments made by the Laikipia East legislator, Mwangi Kiunjuri, I believe sometime last week, that resonate with what Maina Njenga was saying. And I want to summarize it like this. Because Mwangi Kiunjuri was asking the House of Mumbi to wake up and realize that there are major players in the country called Kenya. What he was saying is that it is very important for the Kikuyu to realize that anywhere in the world there is the principle of no taxation without representation. Now you'll remember in the BBI proposals, some of the proposals hinged on this issue in the House of Mumbi, where there are so many in number and they're clustered into constituencies, counties, etc., etc., while other Kenyans are so few in a sparsely populated county, and the resources are almost the same. So what happens is that the resource per person is reduced dramatically. That was the long and short of what Mwangi Kiunjuri was saying. Bottom line, what both Mwangi Kiunjuri and Maina Njenga were saying in one sentence, and by the way, both hail from the Laikipia County. What they were saying is, House of Mumbi, wake up and support the side that is most likely to deliver the goods. And we believe that that side is Azimio. That's really what they were saying. If we're to cut to the chase, because politicians will give you many words, and sometimes they'll be careful Yeah, because they don't want to upset powerful people. But they will know, especially if they speak in the mother tongue, that the message has gotten home. House of Mumbi, wake up and realize who you really are. Now the other quick point is that Azimio have written to the ICC officially, yeah, and they've sent a name to the ICC, Japheth Kome, who's the Inspector General of Police. Now our politicians have really confused us. Yeah, they've confused us so that many Kenyans are not aware of how the ICC works. The ICC focuses on crimes against humanity. Okay? Now if you call maandamano, there is no crime against humanity. If during those maandamano people damage property, there is no crime against humanity there. Let's get that straight. However, if you do something like what was done to one of Raila Odinga's vehicles, that is a crime against humanity. If you do what was done to Raila Odinga's vehicle, several bullets fired at it, and especially if the people who have done this are on the government side, officially the police, etc., etc., that is a crime against humanity. And so unless something very major changes, we should keep a close eye on this story, because in my view there are very solid grounds to get this into the ICC chambers, okay, and to actually get somebody charged. Okay, you know, Azimio, we all know, have the smartest lawyers in Eastern Central Africa. People who understand this thing called Sharia. And they're using this to the advantage of their cause, while the other side is still doing guesswork, feeling around in the dark. That is really the situation. And let me just leave it at that. Now in my latest weekly intelligence briefings number 105, I make an amazing revelation. Which will make you understand so many things that happen in Kenya now, and so many things that have been happening since August 2022. Okay, so make sure you catch it. You can see details on your screens right now. In case you're not yet a subscriber, take full advantage of that offer. And if already you're a subscriber, expect it in your inbox in the next couple of hours or so. Just be patient. It will land. For sure. It will land. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.